Today, you'll uncover everything about the 9 types of angels, their divine ranks, and the unimaginable roles they play in the universe. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some angels are feared even by demons and why one angel alone can change the course of history. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see the spiritual world forever. Seraphim. Imagine standing before a presence so radiant, so engulfed in divine fire, that even the boldest mortal would tremble. That's the Seraphim, angels of pure, unfiltered holiness. These celestial beings are unlike anything human eyes could fathom. With 6 wings ablaze, they hover around the throne of God, chanting an eternal hymn, "Holy, holy, holy." Their very existence radiates divine love, consuming any impurity in its wake. Unlike the soft-winged angels of Renaissance paintings, Seraphim are beings of unimaginable power, burning with a passion that mirrors the presence of God Himself. But why 6 wings? Each pair serves a purpose. 2 cover their faces, shielding them from the overwhelming glory of God, because even the holiest must show reverence. 2 more cover their feet, a gesture of humility, acknowledging that they stand on sacred ground. The last 2? They allow them to soar, moving with divine speed, carrying out God's will without hesitation. In their presence, time itself seems to pause, as if the universe bows in awe before them. The Bible gives us a glimpse of the Seraphim in Isaiah 6, where the prophet finds himself trembling before their song. Imagine hearing voices so powerful they shake the very foundations of the temple. That's not just a choir, it's a declaration, a force that reshapes reality. This is what happens when the Seraphim speak. They don't whisper, they proclaim, setting the heavens ablaze with their fiery devotion. If these beings are so close to God, what do they reveal about Him? They teach us that the presence of the divine isn't merely warm and comforting, it's overwhelming, it's transformative. It purifies, burning away everything that isn't aligned with His will. Those who seek God must be prepared to be refined, just like gold in a furnace. The Seraphim don't just worship, they embody worship itself. Many have wondered, do humans ever encounter Seraphim? While rare, there are stories, visions of burning figures, voices that shake the soul, moments where the air itself seems charged with divine energy. These are not the angels who deliver soft-spoken messages. These are the ones who ignite revivals, who awaken the sleeping, who bring the presence of God in its rawest form. And if the Seraphim are just the first type of angel, what else lies within the hierarchy of heaven? There's another order of celestial beings, often misunderstood, but holding secrets that stretch back to the beginning of time. Cherubim. Forget the chubby-winged babies you see in Renaissance paintings. Cherubim are nothing like that. In reality, these celestial beings are fierce, intelligent, and hold secrets that have shaped history. The Bible describes them as powerful guardians, not soft, decorative figures. They are the ones who stood at the entrance of Eden, wielding a flaming sword to ensure that humanity could never return to the garden. These angels are not just protectors but keepers of divine knowledge, carrying the mysteries of the universe within their very being. The cherubim have a complex and awe-inspiring form. Ezekiel 1 describes them as creatures with 4 faces, those of a lion, an ox, an eagle, and a human. Each face represents a different aspect of creation: strength, service, divinity, and intelligence. And their bodies? Covered in eyes. Imagine a being so attuned to the divine that it can see in every direction, missing nothing. They are not just watchers, they are the embodiment of divine insight, absorbing and understanding everything that unfolds in the universe. Many biblical scholars believe that the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred chest holding God's commandments, was flanked by 2 golden cherubim. Their wings stretched over the mercy seat, a reminder that divine justice and wisdom always go hand in hand. If you've ever wondered where true wisdom comes from, consider this: every great revelation, every divine insight, has likely passed through the watchful gaze of the cherubim before reaching humanity. So, what does this mean for us? It's a reminder that divine knowledge is not something to be taken lightly. The cherubim show us that true wisdom isn't about mere intelligence, it's about understanding the will of God. It's about seeing beyond the surface, perceiving the deeper layers of existence. Imagine having access to such knowledge. What would you do differently if you could see reality from their perspective? Throughout history, these beings have been associated with protection, justice, and the hidden truths of God. Some even speculate that they may have played a role in great moments of human history, whispering wisdom into the ears of prophets, ensuring that the divine plan unfolds as it should. But the question remains, if the cherubim are the keepers of knowledge, who are the ones tasked with executing divine judgment? That leads us to the next order of angels, mysterious, awe-inspiring, and unlike anything you've ever imagined. Thrones. Now, this is where things get truly mysterious. Thrones aren't your typical angelic figures with flowing robes and soft wings. No, these celestial beings defy all expectations. Picture massive, glowing wheels covered in countless eyes, spinning with divine energy. These are the thrones, God's chariot, the very embodiment of His judgment and sovereignty. They don't just move, they blaze through the heavens like living vortexes of light, carrying out divine justice with precision. The prophet Ezekiel was one of the few to witness these beings firsthand. In Ezekiel 1, he describes them as a wheel within a wheel, a structure that seemed to defy human understanding. The wheels were not just mobile, they moved in all directions without turning. That alone suggests something beyond the laws of physics, something operating on an entirely different plane of existence. These are not messengers, nor are they warriors. Thrones serve a different purpose, they carry the very presence of God wherever He wills. But why wheels? Consider the significance. Wheels symbolize movement, progress, divine order. In ancient times, the chariot was a symbol of power and unstoppable force. Thrones, then, are not passive spectators in the divine realm. They are active participants in the unfolding of God's justice. They ensure that what is decreed in heaven is carried out on earth, aligning the material world with divine will. And those eyes? They represent divine omniscience. No action goes unnoticed, no injustice slips through. Thrones are the ultimate watchers, ensuring that nothing disrupts the cosmic balance. Imagine being in the presence of something that sees everything, past, present, and future, all at once. There's no hiding from them, no deception that could ever work. Thrones don't just execute judgment, they see into the very heart of existence itself. So what can we learn from them? That divine justice is inevitable. No matter how much corruption thrives, no matter how much darkness seems to take over, there is an order above all things. Thrones are a reminder that justice may seem slow, but it is never absent. And if these celestial wheels are the instruments of judgment, then who are the ones ensuring that divine rule is maintained across all realms? That brings us to the next order of angels, those who govern with authority beyond human comprehension. Dominions. When chaos threatens to disrupt the divine balance, it is the dominions who step in. These angels act as celestial regulators, ensuring that God's will is carried out with absolute precision. They are not warriors nor mere messengers, they are the overseers, managing the vast hierarchy of angels beneath them. While the thrones execute divine judgment, it is the dominions who ensure that everything in the cosmos moves in accordance with divine law. They are the unseen rulers, guiding leaders, shaping events, and keeping the spiritual realm in perfect harmony. Unlike other angelic beings that take direct action, dominions rarely intervene in earthly matters themselves. Instead, they influence and instruct, working through higher-ranked angels to execute their commands. Imagine a grand strategy game where the dominions act as master tacticians, setting divine plans into motion while ensuring every piece is exactly where it needs to be. They are the unseen architects of the spiritual battlefield, maintaining order amidst the chaos of free will. Their authority extends not just over heaven but also over earthly rulers. Have you ever wondered why some leaders rise and others fall? Throughout history, kings and emperors have claimed divine guidance, and perhaps, unknowingly, they were being influenced by the dominions. Their role is not to control but to guide, to whisper wisdom, to inspire justice, to redirect those in power toward righteousness. Of course, free will remains intact, but ignoring their influence often leads to disastrous consequences. Some theologians speculate that dominions have been at work in key moments of history, shaping the rise of civilizations, guiding great reformations, and even preventing unseen catastrophes. Think of the great turning points in history. Were they merely the result of human decisions, or was there a higher force ensuring the world did not fall into complete disorder? The presence of dominions suggests that divine governance is always at play, even when we cannot see it. But what happens when a dominion falls? The idea is terrifying. If their role is to maintain order, then a fallen dominion would become a force of unimaginable chaos. Some believe that certain high-ranking fallen angels, those who sought to overthrow divine rule, were once dominions themselves. This raises an unsettling question. If those responsible for order can fall, who truly ensures that balance remains intact? And that leads us to the next category of angels, those who take divine commands and turn them into miraculous action. Virtues. If you've ever witnessed an unexplainable event, a miraculous healing, a sudden burst of creativity, or an act of kindness that changed everything, there's a chance that a virtue was at work. These celestial beings are responsible for sustaining the natural world, inspiring humanity in arts, science, and healing, and turning divine commands into miracles. They are the hidden force behind the moments that leave us in awe, those instances when the impossible suddenly becomes reality. Unlike other angels who carry messages or enforce divine law, virtues operate more subtly. They don't announce their presence, but their influence is undeniable. Think of them as the spark behind the genius of great minds, the divine whisper that led to scientific breakthroughs, artistic masterpieces, and revolutionary ideas. Could it be that the great thinkers of history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Albert Einstein, received inspiration from these celestial guides? One of the most fascinating aspects of virtues is their connection to miracles. Have you ever heard stories of people recovering from fatal illnesses, surviving impossible accidents, or experiencing supernatural protection? These are often attributed to their work. But here's the thing, virtues don't just perform miracles, they encourage faith. Miracles aren't random, they serve a purpose. They exist to inspire belief, to remind humanity that there is something beyond the physical world. In a way, virtues also act as a bridge between heaven and earth, ensuring that divine blessings flow into the physical realm. They are often linked to those who dedicate their lives to helping others, doctors, scientists, artists, and even everyday people who bring light to the world through small but impactful actions. If you've ever felt an unshakable urge to do something good, to create, to heal, or to inspire, maybe a virtue is whispering to you. But what happens when the gift of inspiration is ignored? When miracles go unnoticed, and people turn away from the divine? Some say that when virtues are neglected, the world begins to feel colder, less full of wonder. If these angels are the conduits of divine energy, then their absence would surely be felt. And if virtues bring miracles, who are the angels that stand guard between the realms, ensuring that the balance between life and death is maintained? That question leads us to the next group, mighty and feared, yet crucial to the spiritual order. Powers. If there is one group of angels that stands at the front lines of the eternal battle between good and evil, it is the powers. These celestial warriors serve as the border guards between heaven and earth, governing birth, death, and the forces that shape human destiny. Unlike other angels who inspire or deliver messages, powers engage in direct combat, ensuring that demonic forces do not corrupt the balance of the spiritual and physical realms. Some believe that powers are the military leaders of the angelic host, commanding lesser angels in battles unseen by human eyes. They are the ones who protect humanity from unseen dangers, spiritual attacks, curses, and forces that seek to lead people astray. Have you ever felt an unexplained sense of protection, as if something intervened just in time? That could have been the work of a power, shielding you from something you were never meant to face alone. There is, however, a mystery surrounding the powers. Some theologians suggest that when Lucifer rebelled, many from this order fell with him. This raises an unsettling thought. If powers were created to protect divine order, what happens when they turn against it? Could fallen powers be the architects of chaos, spreading deception and destruction where they once upheld justice? It is said that the greatest warriors make the most dangerous enemies, and this idea sends shivers down the spine. But not all powers fell. Those who remained loyal are the unseen defenders of creation, tirelessly standing guard against the forces of darkness. They don't seek recognition, nor do they act for personal glory. They serve because it is their nature, their divine duty. Imagine being a soldier in a war that never ends, fighting battles that most of humanity never even realizes are being waged. This is the reality of the powers: ceaseless vigilance, unwavering strength, and absolute loyalty to God. So what can we take from their existence? Perhaps it's the reminder that battles are fought in realms beyond what our eyes can see. That spiritual warfare is real, and whether we realize it or not, we are all caught in it. But if powers are the ones guarding the invisible realm, then who oversees the earthly kingdoms and ensures that divine rule extends across nations and civilizations? That leads us to the next order of angels, the ones who govern over nations and guide the fate of entire peoples. Principalities. Every kingdom, every empire, every nation that has ever risen or fallen, there may have been a celestial force behind it. Principalities are the angels assigned to oversee nations, cities, and global affairs. They are the unseen rulers of the earthly realm, ensuring that divine order is reflected in human governance. While some angels battle in the heavens, principalities operate on earth, influencing political, religious, and societal structures to align with the greater divine plan. Their role is often misunderstood. They do not dictate or force leaders into action, but they guide, inspire, and sometimes warn. Have you ever noticed how history seems to move in cycles? Great empires rise and fall, revolutions spark at just the right moment, and shifts in power seem almost destined. Could it be that principalities are orchestrating these events, nudging humanity toward a divine purpose? Those with spiritual discernment often sense when a nation is under divine favor, or when it has strayed too far and is on the brink of judgment. Some theologians speculate that principalities may have played a role in biblical events, such as guiding Moses as he led Israel, influencing the Persian kings who allowed the Jews to return to Jerusalem, or even ensuring that world-changing figures like Martin Luther, who initiated the Reformation, emerged at the right time. These celestial beings don't appear in history books, but their fingerprints are everywhere, shaping the course of civilizations. However, just like other angelic orders, principalities are not immune to rebellion. What happens when an angel tasked with guiding a nation turns against the divine order? Some believe that fallen principalities become the spiritual forces behind corruption, tyranny, and deception in governments. The Bible even refers to the princes of certain regions, such as the Prince of Persia in Daniel 10, who opposed the will of God. This suggests that battles are not just fought in the spiritual realm, but also in the affairs of nations. So how does this impact us? Understanding the role of principalities reminds us that history is not random. There is a battle over nations, ideologies, and the destiny of peoples. And if principalities are responsible for overseeing the rise and fall of civilizations, who are the angels entrusted with delivering God's messages and fighting the greatest spiritual battles? That leads us to the next order, the Archangels, the warriors of heaven who stand against the forces of darkness. Archangels. If there's one group of angels that almost everyone has heard of, it's the Archangels. These celestial warriors stand at the front line of the greatest battles, delivering divine messages and fighting against the forces of darkness. Unlike other angelic orders that oversee grand cosmic structures, archangels operate with a more direct approach. They intervene, protect, and deliver God's will with authority. They are not just symbols of divine power, they are its enforcers. The Bible names 3 archangels explicitly: Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Michael, often depicted as the leader of heaven's armies, is the ultimate warrior, the one who casts down the dragon in Revelation. Gabriel, the messenger, delivers world-altering news. He is the one who announced the birth of Christ to Mary. Raphael, though less mentioned, is associated with healing and guidance, as seen in the book of Tobit. Each archangel serves a specific role, acting as a bridge between heaven and earth in moments of great significance. Michael, in particular, is known as the Great Protector. If there is a battle against demonic forces, he is the one leading the charge. His very name means "who is like God," a declaration of divine supremacy over all rebellious spirits. Have you ever felt a sudden burst of courage in a moment of fear? A sense of protection when facing danger? Some believe that Michael's presence manifests in those who call upon divine strength. Gabriel, on the other hand, is the voice of revelation. He doesn't just deliver messages, he brings clarity and divine truth. Think about it, some of the most crucial events in biblical history were set in motion by his words. What if divine messages are still being delivered today, but we fail to recognize them? What if moments of sudden insight or deep understanding are whispers from Gabriel himself? Raphael's name means God heals, and his mission is one of restoration. Whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual healing, Raphael's presence is a reminder that divine mercy is always at work. In moments of pain, suffering, or uncertainty, calling upon divine healing may just be an invitation for his presence. But if the archangels are the ones entrusted with God's most urgent missions, who are the angels that walk among us, guiding us in the quiet moments of our lives? That leads us to the final category, those who act as personal guardians, watching over every step we take. Angels. Among all the angelic orders, these are the ones closest to humanity. Angels, in their most familiar sense, are the divine messengers and personal guardians assigned to watch over individuals. They operate in the background of our daily lives, guiding, protecting, and ensuring that we stay on the right path. Unlike the archangels, who handle grand cosmic battles, these angels work in the intimate details of human existence, sometimes subtly, sometimes in ways that cannot be ignored. Have you ever experienced a strong intuition, a sudden change of direction that saved you from harm, or an overwhelming sense of peace in a moment of distress? Many believe these are the quiet interventions of guardian angels. Throughout history, people have reported mysterious encounters, unseen hands steering them away from accidents, voices warning them of danger, or even strangers appearing at the right moment, only to disappear without a trace. Could these be divine protectors at work? The Bible is filled with stories of angels acting as intermediaries between God and humanity. They were the ones who visited Abraham, who led Lot out of Sodom, who appeared to shepherds the night Jesus was born. Unlike higher angelic orders, these angels interact directly with people, delivering messages and offering guidance in times of need. They are not distant cosmic beings. They are near, attentive, and deeply involved in the spiritual well-being of those they are assigned to protect. But what happens when someone ignores the voice of their guardian angel? If divine guidance is repeatedly dismissed, does the angel step back? Some theologians suggest that while angels never abandon their assignments, they respect free will. This means that while they are always present, their influence can be ignored. This raises a thought-provoking question. How many moments of divine guidance have been missed simply because we weren't paying attention? The presence of angels reminds us that we are never alone. Whether we recognize them or not, they are always working in the background, ensuring that we are aligned with our higher purpose. And now that we've uncovered all 9 types of angels, the question remains, what does all of this mean for you? Because knowledge alone is not enough, it's time to take this understanding and apply it to your life in a meaningful way. Now that you know the 9 types of angels, one question remains: what will you do with this knowledge? Understanding their roles isn't just about curiosity, it's about recognizing the unseen forces at work in the world and in your own life. Have you ever felt divine protection? Have you ever experienced moments of clarity or inspiration that seem to come from nowhere? Maybe now, you'll pay closer attention. Which of these angels do you feel has influenced your life the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to continue uncovering the mysteries of the Bible, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because there's so much more to learn.